Good morning. Welcome to Live with Joan in Learn to Communicate with Animals with Joan. Weird, it's with me. Hey, I just noticed there's snow. Anyway, on the mountains out there. We've had so much rain and it's a gorgeous day. It was about 33 degrees this morning. All the mud puddles look like ice skating rinks. It's quite gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
I drove in this morning and it was stunning, the drive.
Yeah. So today my Oracle cup is I run on caffeine, horses, and cuss words.
You know that's my favorite, right?
Yeah. Becky has a favorite. It's the one that says, "I'm not a bitch, just kidding, go." I always hide that from groups, and some shy person always finds it. Anyway, here we are. Is anyone here yet?
Yes, I'm just waiting for it to load. Leslie Williams says hi. Good morning, Leslie.
Good morning,
This
Leslie.
is now like world's record for Leslie.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Well, it's been a long time. How long have you been our first one on every time, Leslie? Because it's like a couple of years.
Yeah.
If not since the beginning. I was thinking about that. Was it 2019 we started this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is year 4. I mean, right now is year 4.
No, my brain can't fathom that.
Yeah.
We've been doing Facebook Lives for 4 years
For
now.
4 years. I've been here on Tuesday at 10 a.m. with you, with Leslie Williams, and who knows who else. Yeah, 4 years. Wow. I know. And we've done so many master classes in here, and we've done
We did the book clubs.
We did a book club. I really want to do a book club again. Who wants a book club? I know. I'm wondering, though, if it would be better as a podcast, but that's what I'm thinking. I can't stand it. I'm reading this book about the gorillas right now. My next book is about whales, and I just got through a bunch of. I'm working on a book about chakras, so I've read everybody's chakra book and done every meditation, and I still come back to. I love our meditation, and I'm even talking about some very famous people. I love their work, but I'm not changing a thing about the scalar wave that we're doing in the energy healing for animals in a couple weeks. And
That's so powerful, that meditation.
Yeah. I'm not changing the wildlife meditation that we do, and I'm not changing the animal communication. So it's interesting that I excuse me, spent so much time really studying a lot of other people's stuff, and I was telling Shannon getting to the pineal gland and doing all kinds of things, but ours is super effective, so I'm not changing anything.
Why fix something that's not broken?
Yeah, but getting back to the animal books, I just read a book about baboons that was really great. Francoise has a new book out, so we need to read that. Yeah, so anyway.
Maybe, yeah.
Cooking, I think about it every day, every single day.
Oh, I'm in. That was Leslie. So
Did she say how long she's been here?
I'm gonna look because there's a lot of other people. Joyce Lee Leggett says hi. Leah Pancheri says hello. Hello, Leah.
Okay, wait. Joyce also has been here a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have. Oh,
and Leah's in the big program.
I heard my voice on my phone. Yes, Leah's in the big program. Yay!
Yay.
Daniela Van Amsterdam says hello, good evening.
And she's in the big program.
Craig Walker says hi all. Hi, Craig.
Hi, Craig. And Healy's in AC Level 1 coming up.
Okay, and he put a post. I didn't get a chance to read the whole thing because I was getting ready to come to work, but he put a post about his dog not hogging up his seat in the car.
Oh, that's good. Moving on up.
Exactly. Shannon Meyer says hi, ladies. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Shannon.
Becky says hi. Hi, Becky.
Becky?
Yeah, Becky.
Hi, Becky. I was just, yeah, I was going to text you more. Anyway.
Craig Walker says, one cool dude is here too. Hi, Shannon Myers.
We always need a cool dude.
And Shannon says, howdy, cool dude. Tanya Hafe says, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Val Smith says, hello.
Hi, Val. I was going to call you yesterday.
Leslie Williams says, right from the start of Tuesday Lives.
I thought so.
Yeah, I remember.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we got to do a little like.
There's something.
Something.
Yeah.
Shannon says, welcome to AMP, Leah. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Jane Hirata says, good morning from sunny Honolulu.
Good
Joan
morning,
and Claudia.
Jane.
Good morning, Jane. It's been a while since I've seen her name on here.
Jane was here from the beginning also.
And she came here.
And she came here.
For the intensive.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, I have a lot to share about what's coming up, and also a lot to talk about, because the theme today is animal communication. Your questions about animal communication I'd love to answer. If you're new to me, my name is Joan Ranquet. I'm an animal communicator, energy healer, and author, TEDx speaker, and founder of Communication with All Life University. And the school is a program for people that want to learn animal communication or become an animal communicator, to learn energy healing or become an energy healer. And also we have lots of other courses on death and dying, animal ambassadorship, and we have nature and wildlife courses. So we're really turning into that full-on university. I mean, full-on. We have every day there are a couple classes going, so it's been very exciting. So also here in person, we're starting to sponsor courses. So I'll run through what is coming up in person here. So in February, I think the 18th and 19th, we have Lola Michelin of Northwest Animal Massage. Northwest School of Animal Massage, oh my God, NWSAM. If you haven't seen my live with her, she is a rock star. I taught up there in Seattle last June, and we did a live with her, and she's amazing. Anyway, that will be in February. In March, the second weekend, would be the 12th, maybe the 10th, 11th, and 12th, something like that. 11th, 12th, and 13th, maybe, is the animal acupressure with Dr. Jill Todd and me. And then April 7th is it's April 14th. When is the first day
of the intensive is the 14th.
The 14th, yeah, because Easter falls. Yeah, so April 14th through
the
23rd.
23rd, yes. 22nd.
22nd, I knew that. So that's the intensive. So 3 things that are coming up immediately here. And then, so then what's online is January 26th, next Wednesday.
Yes.
25th, 26th.
26th is the Thursday. Oh, Wednesday is the 25th.
So I thought January 25th is the beginning of the next Animal Communication Level 1, AC Level 1.
Yes.
We have, excuse me, I have like a frog in my throat. We have, at the end of February, we have the last, is it the 27th and 28th or something like that? We have
the 24th and 25th, the death and is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, February 24th and 25th is a virtual retreat for death and dying. And then after that, we have the Animals in Transition Level 2, I think. Is it Level 2? Anyway, anyone can take this because it really is. We just did a course on communicating an advanced animal communication with animals that have crossed over. But now we're doing something kind of like a death doula, but death doula and mediumship certification. And so the next level course that anybody can take is our Animals in Transition course. And it, you know, when you think about it, anything is a transition, right? Like whether you're retiring a show dog or a police dog, or so there are a number of things that are a transition. So it's really important to recognize what we do in transition. So that course will really go through a lot of those steps of transitioning, and then we will have tools for the other animals in the household. We'll have tapping scripts for just that circumstance, techniques like scalar wave and things like that. So it will be a real death, dying, and beyond sort of course, and it will really it's going to be very powerful. And I can't remember what day that starts, Shannon.
The Animals in Transition.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking right now.
And then in April we have the India trip, and in June we have the end of April we have the India trip, and that is temples and tigers. And I am getting so excited. There's some very cool people signed up, and there's room, and we actually need deposits very soon because it's kind of like Rwanda and Uganda, where they only let a certain amount of people into the parks, which I'm really grateful that they are conservation minded. So there's a lot of parks we're going to, and we need to get those permits. So if you're interested and you need to talk to me, we can make that happen. Just write to assist at joanranquet.com, and I will call you and we can talk about India. The other one is the dolphin trip. I did 8 years of dolphins, and now everyone's associating me with like Africa and elephants, but I'm a dolphin girl through and through. So that's in June down in Bimini, and I've got room, and we need to be getting deposits in for that too. So if you're interested in trips, India, June, and then I do have a Botswana trip, and so if Linda Gage is on, I'll be putting that out shortly, but I've got some work to do around filling the India and Bahamas. But the trip down the road is Namibia, Botswana, and Zimbabwe, and it starts at the Cheetah Conservation Center, and then we in Namibia, and where I've been before, and then go to Botswana to the Okavango Delta, where animals live in the water. You should see, I told you that itineraries and maps and all things wildlife are my porn. So in 2 years, I've got a South America jaguar trip to die for. I know, stop now. It's crazy. I wrote to Kat last, I sent her 2 itineraries. I'm like, these 2 have to marry. So anyway, there's some cool
You're going to need an interpreter.
happening. Yeah. Very cool stuff happening. And so, yeah. And this is what I'm going to say about wildlife, and then we'll get on with the question and answer about animal communication. One of the stark realities that Tanya and I don't know, is Linda here?
I'm looking.
But
There's a lot of comments, so we'll get to those in a minute.
yeah. Is Afton here? Bernadette?
Bernadette is, and Tanya, and I'm checking to see who else was on the trip.
Okay. One of the stark realities is Amboseli went through quite a drought, and we saw full carcasses with like that were, they starved to death, and teeth, full on teeth, and it was really, for me, very startling. I found some elephant pictures that I loved that I was gonna, put in the book, but there were two dead zebras in front of them. When I blew the picture up, I was like, no. So, whether it's drought or like the Amazon being cut down, or the wildlife-human conflict of just people not understanding, or trophy hunting, or poaching, it's gonna go away if we don't do something about it. And it's going to go away in a way that, I think about the polar bears. That's another trip that I started piecing together, a Manitoba or a northern Norway trip. If we don't go and see this and come back with stories, it's going to be gone. It's going to be gone. And I can't say that enough, because we saw what's happening over there. And with Kilimanjaro, the ice caps are going to melt and there won't be any ice, and therefore there won't be any Serengeti, there won't be any Masai Mara, there won't be any Amboseli. I don't know if it would affect Savo. It's going to affect, you have that kind of a significant loss of an ecosystem. It's going to affect everything. It's going to affect us over here. So we have to do something, and we have to know it and see it and feel it and breathe it and be with it, and be uncomfortable with it, and then, come together with ideas to keep moving forward. And yes, it brings incredible joy, and to go over there, appreciation has such a high frequency, that then, what is that?
Becky Starr.
Oh, that's the TV show I'm on. We adding to the frequency over there. At the very least, we can offer creating a great frequency, but to be there and to bear witness is, I think, one of the most important things we can do, because we're going to come back excited. Like, Tanya can't stop posting. Bernadette's telling Bernadette's got some giant statue. I can't even remember what you got in her house and in her vet clinic. So, it's like we inspire others to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's it. That was my long-winded story about why you need to come to India or the Bahamas.
Or any of the trips you're planning.
Well, India especially, because
India
is the tigers. That's something that India has worked very hard to bring the numbers back up. And so to go support that, is really important.
It's I have a special thing with India, and I would love to be on that trip.
Well, so shake your moneymakers.
I'm shaking my moneymakers.
Okay.
So
she's taking clients. Anyway, what are some of the clients? Oh, go ahead.
So the comments, I'm going to go back to when you were talking about the meditation. Barbara Royal says, my nutritionist says my third eye is opening. I attribute it to Joan's meditation that I am doing.
Thank you, Barbara. That's a great. We need that as a testimonial.
Okay, so comments are popping up on your phone more recent, and I'm looking back at the other one, so I'm just going to look at my phone really quick. Cheryl Cook says, beautiful sunny day to everyone.
Yes.
Shannon responded to questions that people were having about dates and times and stuff like that.
Okay,
so
cool.
I'm going to skip. Oh, Leah says, still at slipper pace for a little longer.
We're all there.
Yeah.
We're at slipper pace. I'm going to try, with so much going on, I'm supercharged and passionate, but my nervous system needs to stay at slipper pace.
Yeah. Mine too. Chris Wilson says, good morning.
Good morning.
Craig Walker, he might be having internet issues. Okay, and Bernadette put elephant's mom and baby.
Oh my God. Yeah, giant. She had them shipped. Giant statues.
I would love those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want a gorilla at the entrance. No, anyway, no. actually I want a bronze horse, but that's another story.
I don't know why I just closed it down. Okay.
Okay. Any other anything else?
I'm giving people a minute. Just going back to make sure I didn't miss anything.
So I want to, I just did a weird glitch with our Ask Joan the other day, and so we really wanted to kind of, Shannon and I talked about how if you have questions about animal communication, now is the time. I would love to answer some things, and I'm just gonna kind of run through some things, and I want to see if you fall into this category at all, okay? So I'm just going to name some things, all right? So first and foremost, I don't trust myself. Does anyone fall into that category? When I do animal communication, I don't trust what I'm getting. Claudia?
Sometimes.
Still?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, okay.
But I've learned how to put myself in my own place, so
Okay.
yeah.
So, is anyone responding to that?
I'll give them a minute. It takes a minute.
Okay. So then the next question for you that I get a lot, and are you this person, is, yes, go ahead.
Oh, no, this is about Africa.
What?
Jane Karras, she says, my son and daughter-in-law just returned from South Africa, Kruger National Park. Their stories are amazing about the animals they saw and the feelings they experienced.
Yeah, it's the feelings, the visual, the smells, the tastes, the everything, and being able to come back with that. There aren't any words to describe what we went through because we had experienced so much love and being with like the last two northern white rhinos and being with those elephants who came from horrible circumstances but have created their own herd at a Tumba camp. I mean, just powerful stuff. I gotta keep wanting to cuss this morning because of this dang cup.
I see that. Okay, so to answer the trust.
I don't trust myself.
Yeah. Val Smith says sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Leslie Williams says, I don't trust myself. Craig Walker says, trust is big with me, but I think I'm getting there. Sorry. Oh, slow typer. Kim Snow says, hiya.
Hi, Kim.
Pat Smith says, hello from Cape Cod.
Hello.
Says, my daughter has, hold on. Oh, she's got an animal communication question.
Okay, well, let me get to it in a minute.
Yeah. Shannon says, in the beginning, yes, had to build what Joan calls the trust muscle. Lots of practice. Exactly.
Yeah, so I always say there's a telepathic muscle, which we build because we all of a sudden recognize that we do it. And then there's a trust muscle, right? And so then my next question is, oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Danielle Van Amsterdam says, yes, don't trust myself, making it up, big fantasy. I don't have what other students have. Oh,
yeah.
That's a running script, Daniela, for all of us at some point or another. Lori Jodar says sometimes. Cheryl Cook says, feel like I am still making it up, but get it right usually. Yeah.
Look, even I have moments where I'm like, oh my God, Joan, you just made that up. But part of the trust muscle is just writing it down and not having an agenda with it, right?
Yeah, Shannon replied to Daniela's, you're not alone in this, you're not. But you're right, Joan, when I raise my hand, sometimes I don't trust myself. What I've learned is you write it down anyway, and you say it, because sometimes that thing that you trust the least is the one that is...
That's, the main thing.
Yeah. So Yeah.
Another piece about that is it also is telling you that you're not that neutral. So it's always that opportunity to breathe back into your feet and sit for a moment and open back up even more, right? Because if I'm judging myself, I'm not neutral.
Exactly.
And we want to be as neutral as we can be.
Which leads me to Jane Hirata's comment, which it's almost like you knew someone commented this. She said, I'm going back after a long hiatus and concerned that I lost it. You have not lost it.
No, but it's like going back to the gym.
After,
right?
yeah.
So, I don't believe I can do this. Who has that as a running script in their head? Even though, yeah, I did it in class, but, you know, that was class. And I just don't believe I can do this. Oh, Claudia, am I speaking to you?
No, I was just thinking that there's, for me, that keeps me humble and helps me stay like, wow, it's not, I don't believe I can do this. It's more like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this, right? It's more of a, I can't believe that I do this.
Yeah, and there's a difference, but you get there because you suspend that belief
Yeah.
enough that you build the muscle.
So Val raised her hand. She put the little hand up emoji. Oh, Linda Gage is here.
Hi, Linda.
Cheryl Cook says she has a very hard time getting to neutral. Barbara Royal says, sometimes I get what I think I know and I am getting a better realizing it and ask if this is me or the animal.
Good job. And going back to what Cheryl said, you know, when you have a separate meditation practice on a daily basis, and you know, I know you want to get horses, so you're going to have at least 2 meditation practices. One will be the meditation, and the other will be when you're shoveling shit. And the third one for me is exercise. Those are 3 separate times that I'm in a very quiet, neutral place, or working toward that, right? Sometimes I have some stupid, like, can't believe she said that. And then I have to go, Joan, you're out in nature. Or Joan, you're in meditation. Or Joan, you're picking up horseshit. Like, how can you resolve that quickly and move it out of the way? So the more you have that solid meditation practice, when you go to communicate with an animal and get quiet, you're dropping into home.
Yeah.
You're dropping into something so profound and powerful and safe that even if you have distracting thoughts, you're anchored into somewhere. So it's really the home of the universe, right?
It is. It's there's a feeling that I have after I've done an animal communication session of that home, and I can only get that same feeling when I've done my meditation practice on a daily basis. So Melissa Chandler says, I struggle with doing it on demand at times. Clearing my mind is a work in progress.
But that is exactly why we have the school. That is like the number one thing, because I promise you that when you walk out of here, it will be an on and off button. And the more you can turn it off, you're creating incredible boundaries, right? So that I'm not thinking about what those sheep over there are squealing about. You know, I can send them some love and prayers, but I'm not going to create a drama over there. I'm going to have a boundary that unless I'm invited to help, I'm going to simply be aware. And I can turn it on when someone invites me to communicate with their dog. So it's almost like having an off button when we're this empathic is what starts to create the on button. And then you add in the meditation, you add in the trust, you add in the confidence muscle, you add in the telepathic muscle, and you're, you know, cooking with some sort of environmentally correct gas.
I have to say, I have to add on to that I had the same issue, like, how am I going to be able to do this, like, on demand? And not only did I learn how to do it, but speaking to what you just said, Joan, about the on and off switch, I used to be taken down and taken out by feelings or anything I would pick up from animals or people or all
Right.
of that. But what this has done for me, which is really powerful, is given me like a distance without being distant.
Detached compassion.
Thank you, detached compassion.
We'll come to that in a minute. Remind me to come back to that. But
Which makes me a more effective animal communicator.
yeah, but we'll get
Yeah.
to that in a minute because that's another giant topic. But with this on and off button, the other thing to consider is that there may be times of day that you're better at this. There may be, you know, as you move from whatever your daily life is and your daily job is, and that world is starting to go away and this world is coming up, you create like, I'll do it from 1 to 3 on Thursdays or whatever it is for your homework. You know, you start to create boundaries even around that. Then when you come to class, when you come to homework, when you start doing case studies down the road in the school, you're coming to it with a sense of, I'm turning this on. I'm turning this on right now. I'm able to do this. And that you're going to see that you will be able to do it on demand. Are you coming here to sit on demand?
She's grunting.
Well, I know. It might be that. You need to talk about it? Yeah. Anyway, okay, so what was anyone else on that topic?
Yes. Sorry, my dog ate my glasses.
There's some more glasses.
I'm okay
over
right now. Okay, okay, here we go. That's perfect. The Kim Snow says that's perfect. I love the on and off button. Well,
It's huge.
so big.
It's the biggest thing because when I know that I'm at a barn or at a zoo or at a something and it's kind of life or death, I rely on my on and off button. I rely on it.
Yeah. Melissa Chandler says, thank you, so helpful. Kim Snow says, it's exhausting to be on all the time.
You
Yes.
can't. Yeah, you cannot.
Mm-mm.
And then going back to, I'll talk about that now. The other thing is, who thinks they're too empathic to actually do this?
I did.
I did too. And that's part of the on and off button. That's part of the whole creating so many boundaries around this. It's part of creating so many muscles or recognizing what muscle you're using in the moment. And then it's part of just sitting in this detached compassion. And so people like me who used to say, oh, I can't even go into a shelter, I'll just weep. I have gone in for the last 10 years and did tapping, and it's how our whole shelter project came to be because of the quick turnaround. But I also used to think I'm so glad that your butt is in my shoulder. Talk about boundaries. Anyway, so I also thought that I was too empathic and that I couldn't do it. And now I can't wait to help that many more animals. I can't wait. And part of how I'm going to help that many more animals is getting you all to recognize that we are not too empathic. There's no such thing. Somehow we elected to come to the planet this moment when things are really loopy, and we've got to be the anchor, the voice of reason, and therefore our empathic nature is our superpower, and we have to be able to walk in the door and help. Walk in the front door and help. And that's it. And training you is what is going to enable me to help that much more. So when I get excited about helping on a grand level, it includes getting people trained and comfortable and confident and able to transform the lives of animals in shelters, animals in homes, animals in wildlife centers, animals in sanctuaries, animals wherever they are. And when we transform animals' lives, we automatically are upping the level of the people around. So we have a big job.
I mean, I would be almost like the poster child for the too empathic, because I could not set foot in a shelter.
This one.
I would fall apart. I remember I adopted Mitzi. I adopted her from a shelter, and what I did was I came in with her ID number. I said, bring me this dog. I do not want to go in there. I cannot look. Right? I can't look at all the animals. And now I'm doing the shelter project with you, and I walked into a shelter in Florida with my husband, and we were walking through, and when he's like, I can't take it, and he left, and when I came out, he goes, how can you do this? How can you walk in? And I'm like, because I'm walking in with a different posture. I'm walking in knowing that I can at least help one if they ask me. I'm here for a different purpose. And that I owe 1,000,000%, there's no doubt in my mind, to the training we've gotten in this school. I would not have been able to do that.
Yeah.
There's no shot. Shannon Myers said, okay, I'm going to go back. Leah Pancheri says, ooh, I need to know more about that detached compassion. And Shannon said, that was such a powerful one for me too. Leah says she's too empathic, and she says she's so looking forward to learning more about this, anchoring it in for herself.
Yeah, that is, you will be amazed. It will, who you are now, write it down, because who you're going to be in a year and a half from now.
Oh, that's a good exercise.
Right? Write it down. Like, don't think I can do this. I'm too sensitive. And it's like, no, yes, and it's our superpower. It's what we are taking into the world. Because we live in a world that is so not that, right? It's not that. It's, just the facts, ma'am. Bootstrap yourself up. We've lived in a world that is so unkind. And we are the ones bringing kindness back.
I have so much to say on that, but I won't right now, because what happened? I just lost all the comments on my phone, so I'm going to go back. Kim Snow wants to know, is detached compassion about just sending them love and moving on?
Yeah. It's also it's definitely in a situation like last night I heard two sheep calling each other, and I don't know what the situation was. I'd heard a lot of coyotes earlier in the evening, so I went and I put my lights on, and they didn't sound distressed. I think they may have just been separated for whatever reason. So I continued then to just say a little prayer, and I came in and went to bed. But, there are so many things we can't do anything about. And I often talk about how there's my stuff and there's God's stuff, and I can't do anything about that over there. I can only work on my own stuff. So it's a bit of the boundary of staying in my lane, knowing what I can or can't do, and sending love from there, and not getting engaged and not getting attached to it. Like, I'll tell you something that all of us that went on the Kenya trip are heartbroken over because it finally came public and we've known, but we couldn't talk about it. We were at a Tumba camp, which is where it's an integration center where the orphans come, and now they're juveniles, and they're going to eventually integrate into the wild. And that's a 4 to 5 year process, right? So there was an elephant that didn't feel well, and we did scalar on him. And I knew that he was heartbroken over someone, but also his original family. Now, I assumed that he had been at the Nairobi Center for the orphans, the young orphans, for a few years, because normally the animals that end up at this camp are there for 3 or 4 years before they end up 3 or 4 years at Tumba camp. So we, as a group, did scalar on him, and they were flying vets in, and he got sicker and sicker and sicker, and before we left, he died. And at one point, everyone wanted to keep working on him, and something in me said, no. And I know when I do that, I know they want to leave. And unless we're going to help them leave, I knew we'd all be too attached with keeping him on the planet. I didn't say anything because I knew he wanted to go be with someone else that was not here on the planet. And he missed his keeper, who was from Nairobi. Well, they flew the Nairobi keeper in. He was with them for a few days but couldn't get him to eat. And we were there for a lot of that. I then read the obituary yesterday, and it said he'd only been in Nairobi for less than a year. So it all made sense to me why I was adamant that we shouldn't just continue to keep working on him, because he really did need to go. He was found wandering, and it was during that drought, so it's safe to assume that maybe his mom died or somebody died, and I knew he wanted to go be with them, and they were not here on this earth. And so there was a part of me that just, I had to detach from the cutest guy on the planet and be okay with the outcome. And I watched the other people on the trip really struggle with that, and we're all struggling and saddened by his death, but there was a certain point we would have gotten too attached to the outcome had we continued to work on him, and we would be just flattened by his death. And at this point, I'm really sad for him, because he was such a great character. In his obituary, it said that he played hide and seek and tortured people because he would hide for a long time. So that he was a great soul here on the planet, but I knew he wanted to go be with someone that wasn't here. And I didn't want to stop that. And so I really know that the detached compassion came into play. And I'm not overwhelmed with grief. I'm really saddened, but I'm also relieved and really happy for him that he's with these others.
See, so you could have detached compassion and still cry like
And
a
you
baby.
can still cry. I cried yesterday when I read the obituary, but they don't. Places like Shelter Trust and Gentle Barn, they choose when they announce things. But we knew he died before we left Kenya.
So Linda Gage says it was heartbreaking and sad. The tapping we did at camp helped. Such a brave, sweet soul.
Yeah, we had to work. We had to work on it, right? And we did scalar on him every day that we were there, twice a day, and on our own. And we had to do some detached compassion tapping. Yeah. Yeah.
And you haven't even told me that story, and normally you tell me everything.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because it wasn't mine to tell until I could tell, right? And that's when you've worked in zoos and wildlife centers and shelters and sanctuaries. Like Val and I have known stuff at the Gentle Barn that isn't public, right? You just,
It's sacred.
It's sacred. It's sacred work. Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to come
and
into
now
that.
I'll show you the pictures of him.
Oh, great. I'm going to cry some more.
I know, now I'm going to cry.
But
yeah.
that detached compassion doesn't mean you move on and you don't care. It means...
I'm still going to cry about it when I show you the pictures.
And I'm crying about it now.
I'm about to.
Because it's... we still feel it, but we don't hook into it and let it take us down.
And I knew that if we kept working on him, I knew for him, just like he didn't want the bottle and he didn't want food, he only wanted so much support. Because he was somewhere else. He was with someone else. And I think he called in his keeper to say goodbye.
Yeah. Linda Gage says, yes, there were so many emotions.
Yeah, and it's still, like when we all are on a WhatsApp thread, and when we all read that yesterday, you know, we all poured in. And I mean, it's a beautiful obituary.
I need to read it, yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So we are coming to a close. It's 10:47.
Any other comments?
No.
I didn't even get through all the material I was going to talk about.
No.
We could do part 2 next week.
Yeah. This is huge.
It was huge. I think it's really fun. So I just want to remind people that we have Animal Communication Level 1 starting on the 25th. We have the Death and Dying Virtual Retreat coming up on February, I don't know, Shannon has the dates in there, in February. We have the Animals in Transition, part of that certification program, coming up in March. And again, I'm sure Shannon put the dates
March
in.
1st.
Oh, who knew?
Wednesday, March 1st is Animals in Transition. She did put the dates in.
Okay, good. And then India, where we're going to see baby tigers because it's baby tiger season. Dolphins. June in the Bahamas is like swimming in a bathtub. And those dolphins are so fun. The Atlantic spotted dolphins are the ones that would go down to the pirate's chest and just throw all the coins about and then laugh off. They would swim and everybody was going, oh my God, all our gold is gone. They are crazy fun dolphins. They are mischief makers. I swam with them for 8 years, 2 weeks a year. And we have the spring intensive, which it's not too early to start thinking about and get your flights. If you write to assist, you can find out about accommodations. And all of this, all roads. So if you want to go on a trip, you talk to me or Kat, but all roads in the school lead to talk to Shannon. So,
and we also have Lola coming in February.
we have the
massage.
animal massage, the animal acupressure, spring intensive.
So these dates are also on the school website calendar, the public calendar. So,
and we're some of them are not yet, but we're getting them in.
We're getting them in
24 hours, and then we're gonna have a live class with Lee from Silva Method.
My fairy godmother.
Yeah, our fairy godmother. And we're going to have, I'm going to be doing like a horsemanship 101 with a friend of mine as soon as I get all that finished. Chris Wilson, your husband, needs to get here. Anyway, yeah, when this is all finished, there's going to be courses once a month. There's going to be some cool stuff. Again, I haven't I've been really good. I said horse shit, but anyway, we'd love to have you join us. We have so many things. We're not just a school, we're a giant mission, and we have a whole, I have stuff I haven't even told anybody. Claudia knows I got an email this morning. It's amazing news. So
it's huge.
Huge. So our tapping project and animal communication and animals as family is going to go big. So I hope you're joining us for something. And if you're already in,
hold on.
Exactly. Maybe you need a helmet and bubble wrap.
Tighten your seatbelt. Hold on to those reins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. See you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.